So I have a quick question for you. How old are you? Don't worry, you don't have to type it in the comments or anything like that. And number 2, do you feel like life has gotten a little bit less colorful for you, or that it's just flat out more depressing? Yeah? Well, you're not alone, don't worry. According to the CDC, 21% of people experiencing depression are in between the ages of 18 and 29. And guess what age group watches my videos the most? Yeah, not a shocker. This by far was the most depressed age group of any other group. That's really scary. But I have a solution for y'all. Stick around for this video and I'm going to show you 3 ways that thinking like a kid again will help you become more productive, feel better, and maybe, just maybe, see some more color in the world. Just make sure you definitely stick around for number 2 because I know for a fact that it's going to help you in more ways than one. Trust me here, please, I'm speaking from experience.
This is all I got.
Before we begin, really quickly, guys, please hit me with a sub, comment, like, whatever. We're speed racing our way to 200 subscribers. We're almost there, so help me, and I'm gonna try to help you become 1% better. What's up, you guys? It's your boy, iswearimtrying. I want you to think back for a second to a place where you were a little bit more happy and a little bit younger. Are you starting to feel the nostalgia yet? Now answer me this. Do you feel that you've gotten a little bit more tilted in life and just in general at the world? I mean, have you guys noticed that when we start off in life, we're kind of like fresh fruit. We're all starry-eyed and happy and hopeful and shit. It's almost like if we go from fresh fruit to soured, bitter, and rotten fermented alcohol as we grow older. I guess that's a new way to understand the saying aging like fine wine, huh?
Well, you know what they say. True beauty
Black
is ageless.
don't crack. That's what I meant to say.
By the time we're in our 20s and 30s, all that starry-eyed hope shit is just gone into the ether. It's low-key super sad, I'm not gonna lie. Whether that's because of the time that we live on Earth or because of the experiences that happen to us, I'm pretty sure it's very safe to say that children are just more positive beings in general, especially towards their future. And I know for a fact that once we get out of high school and out of college, we can definitely learn a lot from kids. Obviously, I'm not trying to take you all the way back to when you had a sippy cup in your hands to drink some soup, but today I'm gonna try to reach into your nostalgia brain and retrieve some of those positive feelings and try to help you associate them again. So without further ado, let's go into tip number 1. And tip number 1 is for me to remind you to try to get back that innate curiosity that you used to have about the world. Children, small animals, anything that's fresh out of the womb will always start off as interested in everything. From reading stop signs to Googling answers, we really do want to understand how the world works around us when we're very young. I mean, do you remember all those annoying questions that you used to ask to your older brother, older sister, or parents?
Mommy! Mama! Mama! Mama!
What?
Hi.
This, in turn, helps children and kids learn a lot about the world and how it functions really quickly. They don't just wait around normally for someone to come around and explain things to them. They go out and they ask people that they trust or people that they think will know the answer. So my point here is try to get curious again, guys. I know that as we age, we start thinking about all the negatives and all the shit that life throws at us, and that's perfectly normal. But don't think that just because you're in your mid-20s, early 20s, or early 30s, or whatever, that you know everything that life has to offer. Because if you did, you'd be fucking transcended by now. You'd be floating above all of this, trust me. I can promise you, you don't know everything that life has to offer. So start learning things again. And this meshes super well with my second tip, which is try new things, slow down the clock. Kids have a much slower perception of time. When you were a kid and you had to wait an hour or 30 minutes in school and you were looking at that clock, I know for a fact that you were feeling like years had gone by when you were waiting for that chemistry class to finish. And as we all know, time ends up fucking us later on in life because of how we perceive it. The longer we've lived, the shorter a moment can appear to us. Just think about this for a second. 1 year for a 10-year-old is 10% of his life. So when you tell that kid in January that he's gonna get a really bomb-ass Christmas present, this kid is literally waiting a 10th of his life to receive this gift. But if you asked me and you told me that I was gonna get a bomb-ass gift in January, I'm 28. I know, I'm unk, I'm already cooked, chat. Don't flame me. Please send help. A year for me is only 3.5% of my life. That means that I basically perceive time 3 times faster than a 10-year-old. And I've talked about this before, I'll leave the video somewhere here, but it has been proven that the more new things we try and accomplish and achieve, the slower our brain will perceive time. I mean, think about it. As a kid, we tried all different types of shit. Biking, rollerblading, new sports, whatever. All these things were new to us, well, because they were new to us. So why is it that you as an adult all of a sudden just stop doing shit? You're not a statue, bro. Move around, please. Try to find something that interests you and that you can do in the future. So pretty much, the more we learn and the more curious we are about new things, whether it be language, sports, or general knowledge, the longer we feel that we live for.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Theoretically, at least. Don't come at me if your 20s go by like this, because at the end of the day, time is time, fellas. And we gotta move with it, we gotta roll with the punches. We sadly can't fight it. Guys, real quick, before we get to number 3, hit me with a like, share, comment. I know y'all hate this, but it does help the channel out. I can promise you. We're gonna start a new movement right now, which is basically called the 1% Club. And it doesn't mean we're better than everyone else. It just means that we're trying to get 1% better every single day. So like I always say, help me and maybe I can help you become 1% better. All right, back to the video. Number 3, and for number 3, fabled number 3, Ray Allen hitting a shot to save LeBron's career and legacy type shit. Which is, remember that you are moldable. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean that you go from Play-Doh to a marble statue. What do I mean by this? Think about this. A child knows that if they do wrong, they can change that in the future, right? How many kids do you ever hear tell you, well, that's just how I am? It's not very common with the youth. And yes, I just aged 10 years by saying the youth, okay? Get off my back. But now let me ask you this. How many adults do you know that have just said, oh, it is the way it is? Or that's just how I am, you know? Get over it. That is fucking pathetic. I might get a little bit tilted here, but that is pathetic. Normally, a child or a teenager, not me, I was a fucking nightmare when I was a kid, will get a scolding and they'll understand that the scolding is coming from a good place. And then they'll try to change based off what they were told from other parties. Pretty much, like I already said, we took our licks and we rolled with the punches and we tried to be better. However, adults from 18 and onward, if not a little bit younger, will look at the world purely from their own eyes and their own perspective. And they'll start thinking that things happen to them and not around them. And when you start thinking that things are happening to you and that people are doing things to you, you're gonna start having a huge problem. You're gonna start building a lot of resentment, and in turn, you can start feeling hella depressed. Hella depressed because of all the disappointment that you receive in your life. But so let me ask you this again. Why? Why are you like this? You don't think that if you picked up a book right now and you tried to learn something new, you wouldn't be able to learn it? You don't think that if you wrote down your negative traits or flaws and you started working on them today, that you wouldn't get better? Why? Again, you're not a marble statue. Just because you aged a little bit and you have more wrinkles or more tan lines doesn't mean that you're not moldable. And so here's where I'm gonna hit you with my bonus tip if you stayed for the end of the video, which is write down 3 things right now, or think about 3 things right now that you enjoyed doing when you were younger.
Write that down! Write that down!
It can be from learning about Napoleon's history to playing basketball, all the way to learning the periodic table. Yeah, science, bitch. Try to learn something that you always wanted to learn when you were younger. Just try it out. It's gonna be a lot easier than you think. When we're adults, we can actually decide what we put our time and effort into. But if we just decide that we don't want to put our time and effort into nothing that we enjoy, well, then you're setting yourself up for a horrible life, a horrible one. I promise you that if you try to learn anything, as mundane and ridiculous as it may sound, you will feel better. Trust me. And YouTube is amazing for this. You can look up self-help, you can look up new languages, you can look up math, whatever you want. And if you don't believe me, you can go and ask my girlfriend right now about how I'm always just watching random DaVinci Resolve tutorials. That's Premiere Pro, by the way, for you Adobe bootlickers. Stop paying them, please. Or just random tidbits about facts, politics, or whatever, because I'm just interested in the world. I'm trying to learn. Just because I'm 28 doesn't mean I'm cooked, even though everyone does already tell me that I'm pretty much already fucked and we're too old to do anything at this point in our lives. So basically, I try to learn a little bit in my life instead of just laying down, bed rotting, and watching Love is Blind. Which, by the way, brain rot isn't necessarily always a bad thing. I'll talk about that in another video in the future. People, my point here at the end of the day is that if you look at the world from a different perspective, you most likely will start feeling the world and experiencing the world in a different way. You can't keep doing the same thing and thinking that you're gonna get different results. If you don't like where you are currently in your life, guess what? You can move, you're not a tree. But it all changes from a perspective shift. If you start looking at the world today from a child's point of view, you're gonna be more interested in things, you're gonna learn more things, and you're most definitely gonna feel better overall. Remember guys, at the end of the day, all you need to do is try to get 1% better. You need to try just to get a little bit better, because that's what makes us better human beings. And that's what I always want to instill in you on this channel. So once again guys, that's your favorite messy haired YouTuber. If you have any suggestions or anything, let me know down in the comments. And let me ask you this. Have you actually felt that life gets duller in terms of color? Because I definitely have. And that's actually been studied as a physical phenomenon that does happen to people as they age. So let me know if I'm the only unk that feels this way, or maybe we share a little bit of common ground here, all right? Guys, stay safe, stay curious, try to stay fun, because you know, it's always fucking crazy out there. It's your boy iswearimtrying, and peace!
Now I'm rapping every single day. Great man, smoking on the green ganja hay. Hey Sean, I hit you with the spin move. Rotation, different types of water on my neck. Hydration, devil in my DM, shoot my shot just like I'm Rain Man. If we feeling broke, then fuck it, we might do the rain dance. I don't work for money, I just sign, pay me